a good grade and maintain my GPA. He seemed let down by this answer but then proceeded to ask me if there was reason I always stared at him as he walked up and down the lecture hall, and I told him that I learned best by paying the closest attention. I realized where he was going with this, and tried to keep my cool and just get through our lunch, as the food had just arrived. I wanted to ask him about his wife and kids but held back because I didn't want him to get the wrong idea, but before I knew it, he was asking me about my relationship status and if I was interested in the guys on campus. He said that in the class he has me in, there is no guy smart enough to be worthy of me and my highly intellectual self. He was straight up flirting and not keeping it low-key whatsoever. After that awkward lunch was over, he offered to drive me home or wherever I was headed to next, and I politely declined but thanked him for lunch. I told him I wanted to head to the cafe next door to study for one of my other classes. The next class I had with him, he made me feel extremely uncomfortable by physically putting his hands on me. I was sitting in my usual seat, which just so happened to be in the front of the lecture hall, and as my professor was pacing across the hall as he usually does while lecturing, he just casually placed his hand on my shoulder and squeezed it while verbally exaggerating something. Then he let it brush lightly against my collar.